March 14th, 1905. Dear Joe, I have a puddin'-head maxim. When a man is a pessimist before 48, he knows too much. If he is an optimist after it, he knows too little. It is with contentment, therefore, that I reflect that I am better and wiser than you. Joe, you seem to be dealing in bulks now. The bulk of the farmers and U.S. senators are honest. As regards purchase and sale with money, who doubts it? Is that the only measure of honesty? Aren't there a dozen kinds of honesty which can't be measured by the money standard? Treason is treason, and there's more than one form of it. The money form is but one of them. When a person is disloyal to any confessed duty, he is plainly and simply dishonest and knows it. Knows it and is privately troubled about it and not proud of himself. Judged by this standard, and who will challenge the validity of it, there isn't an honest man in Connecticut, nor in the Senate, nor anywhere else. I do not even accept myself this time. Am I finding fault with you and the rest of the populace? No, I assure you I am not. For I know the human race's limitations, and this makes it my duty, my pleasant duty, to be fair to it. Each person in it is honest in one or several ways, but no member of it is honest in all the ways required by what? By his own standard. Outside of that, as I look at it, there is no obligation upon him. Am I honest? I give you my word of honor, private, I am not. For 7 years I have suppressed a book which my conscience tells me I ought to publish. I hold it a duty to publish it. There are other difficult duties which I am equal to, but I am not equal to that one. Yes, even I am dishonest. Not in many ways, but in some. 41, I think it is. We are certainly all honest in one or several ways, every man in the world, though I have reason to think I am the only one whose blacklist runs so light. Sometimes I feel lonely enough in this lofty solitude. Yes, oh yes, I am not overlooking the steady progress from age to age of the coming of the kingdom of God and righteousness. From age to age. Yes, it describes that giddy gait. I and the rocks will not live to see it arrive, but that is all right. It will arrive, it surely will. But you ought not to be always ironically apologizing for the deity. If that thing is going to arrive, it is inferable that he wants it to arrive, and so it is not quite kind of you, and it hurts me to see you flinging sarcasms at the gate of it. And yet it would not be fair in me not to admit that the sarcasms are deserved. When the deity wants a thing, and after working at it for ages and ages, can't show even a shade of progress toward its accomplishment, well, we don't laugh, but it is only because we dasn't. The source of righteousness is in the heart? Yes. And engineered and directed by the brain? Yes. Well, History and tradition testify that the heart is just about what it was in the beginning. It has undergone no shade of change. Its good and evil impulses and their consequences are the same today that they were in old Bible times, in Egyptian times, and Greek times, and Middle Age times, and 20th century times. There has been no change. Meantime, the brain has undergone no change. It is what it always was. There are a few good brains and a multitude of poor ones. It was so in old Bible times and in all other times, Greek, Roman, Middle Ages, and 20th century. Among the savages, all the savages, the average brain is as competent as the average brain here or elsewhere. I will prove it to you sometime, if you like. And there are great brains among them, too. I will prove that also, if you like. Well, the 19th century made progress. The first progress after ages and ages. Colossal progress. In what? Materialities. Prodigious acquisitions were made in things which add to the comfort of many and make life harder for as many more. But the addition to righteousness, is that discoverable? I think not. The materialities were not invented in the interest of righteousness. That there is more righteousness in the world because of them than there was before is hardly demonstrable, I think. In Europe and America there is a vast change due to them in ideals. Do you admire it? All Europe and all America are feverishly scrambling for money. Money is the supreme ideal. All others take 10th place with the great bulk of the nations named. Money lust has always existed, but not in the history of the world was it ever a craze, a madness, until your time and mine. This lust has rotted these nations. It has made them hard, sordid, ungentle, dishonest, oppressive. Did England rise against the infamy of the Boer War? No, rose in favor of it. Did America rise against the infamy of the Philippine War? No, rose in favor of it. Did Russia rise against the infamy of the present war? No, sat still and said nothing. Has the kingdom of God advanced in Russia since the beginning of time? Or in Europe and America, considering the vast backward step of the money lust? Or anywhere else? If there has been any progress toward righteousness since the early days of creation, which in my ineradicable honesty I am obliged to doubt, I think we must confine it to 10% of the populations of Christendom, but leaving Russia, Spain, and South America entirely out. This gives us 320 millions to draw the 10% from. That is to say, 32 millions have advanced toward righteousness and the kingdom of God since the ages and ages have been flying along. The deity sitting up there, admiring. Well, you see it leaves 1,200,000,000 out of the race. They stand just where they have always stood. There has been no change. No charge for these informations. Do come down soon, Joe. With love, Mark.